Now, back in the 20s, when this all started out, is that when, like, Saint-Tropez became famous? Today, what is the Saint-Tropez scene? Because it seems like there's sort of a well-worn kind of old-school resort, and then there are newer places to go.
But Saint-Tropez is historically, it's not historic, not that long, but as we can say, the rich and famous place. It's really the place where Brigitte Bardot used to live, and people with fame and money used to come down. It's a bit worn out. It's not as important as it used to be.
Even though Brigitte Bardot made the Saint-Tropez scene famous.
She's not a sight you want to see anymore nowadays.
I think in Saint-Tropez, instead of seeing famous people, you're going to see tourists looking for famous people. And tourists paying famous people prices for things.
Tu veux ou tu veux pas?
French tour guides Patrick Vidal and Virginie Moret are walking us through the all-season pleasures of the Côte d'Azur in southern France right now on Travel with Rick Steves. Virginie, if you had 1 week, apart from Saint-Tropez, and you were going to spend it on the Riviera, where would you go as a sightseer more than just somebody who's going to lay on the beach?
So I would base myself still in Nice, because even though you have the seaside and it's a big city, it's a lovely city and you can use the public transportation to explore the coast more in detail.
All these little beautiful towns along the river, to me it's like a charm bracelet. Every couple of miles you got a new delightful stop, and the trains connect them all effortlessly. And there's even a bus, isn't there? For just a couple dollars, you get a single bus ticket. So we're talking about making Nice your headquarters. And then where would you go?
I would explore in little villages. I mean, places are touristy, so again, avoid the big season, the summer. But the village of Eze, even though there are lots of tourists, so it's spelled E-Z-E, and you have the village, which is on top of a cliff. And if you go up to the top, you have less people.
You're looking right down at Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Well, pretty much, yeah, you're very, very close. And
very
you're
close,
very
but you have an amazing view on the sea also. And at the top, they have the jardin with lots of cacti, hundreds of different cacti there. And it's just, not many people make it to the top. So at least that's a way to get out of the crowds. Or then you can walk down also to the sea, from the cliffs, the top of the village.
That's a beautiful
to the
walk.
Sea. Mm-hmm.
And then what other highlights would you have, Patrick, along the Riviera?
But staying on this side, on the eastern part of Nice, I love the little village of Villefranche-sur-Mer because we are very close to Nice. We can do almost the same thing that if we were staying in Nice, but you got a village atmosphere and you got sandy beaches as well.
This is very important. Nice has the stony pebble beaches, which are nice. It's like a hot rock massage, maybe you can say. But just a 20-minute bus ride away almost, or even a bicycle ride away. You got Villefranche. What is it called?
Villefranche-sur-Mer.
So the Villefranche upon
the sea, yeah.
Now, I just came in on a cruise ship, and cruise ships have one of three ports on the Riviera. They can stop in Monte Carlo, they can stop in Nice, or they can anchor outside of Villefranche-sur-Mer. And we tendered in to Villefranche from our cruise ship, and then I walked 5 minutes to the train, hop on the train, and in a few minutes I'm in wherever, Antibes, Nice, Monte Carlo. It's a beautiful arrangement.
Yeah, and that's a big, important to the town itself, because there's a lot of people coming through the town. There's a little market down there. It's the only place in France where you don't have a day for the market. The market is there when the boat is in the harbor.
Okay, so that would make a huge boost to the business.
Voilà.
Now, when I'm in Nice and Villefranche and these areas, there's an Italian flavor. Virginie, why is that?
Well, it used to be part of Italy until the 1860. Mm-hmm. So you will have an Italian aspect for the food and also the architecture. When you look at the houses, the colors are, you'll see lots of pink and green. And you're going to see those shutters for the window that we don't have in the rest of France. They are very different. They have a system of ventilation that we don't really see.
So when Italy was uniting, the people in this part of France, the very southeastern tip of France next to Italy, had a chance to vote to join the new country of Italy or to stick with France?
And yes, it was a bit of a fight. There was a lot of people who wanted to stay on the Italian side. But technically, it was making more sense to get this part of the Riviera on the French side because you didn't have to pass the mountain to get to the rest of France when it was difficult to get to Italy.
This is Travel with Rick Steves. We're talking about the French Riviera with Virginie Moret and Patrick Vidal. Virginie and Patrick, I'd like to finish just with your favorite little moment. I mean, there's so much we have just scratched the surface. My favorite moment, from a history point of view, might be going to the Trophy of the Alps. It's this Roman, what is the word for this? It's the Roman...
Le Trophée des Alpes in La Turbie, Roman Triumphal Arch.
Yeah, the Roman Triumphal, up in the mountains above the Riviera where the Roman emperor built a trophy, a big triumphal arch to celebrate. He had subdued the barbarians, and that was the end of the war, and it was the beginning, I think, of the Pax Romana.
It's a huge thing.
Okay, that's heavy history. Why don't you guys give me some heavy hedonism? How would you sum up your, just one little vignette? What's a beautiful part of your French Riviera experience, especially if you were a guide taking an American around? Patrick?
I would think a little bit about food because it's a great thing around here. And when you go to the Marché aux Fleurs on the Cours Saléa in Nice, you got those stalls which are so appetizing. Couple of the big specialty which are easy to eat around in Nice. You don't have to sit down. You can have just a little sandwich or something around. And the two main ones are what we call the pain bagna, which is a little round ball of bread that you cut in two, and inside you put a salade niçoise. And the salade niçoise is tuna, green beans, tomatoes, olives. After that, there's going to be different things, olive oil on it, and different things according to who's doing it. But it's a very, very easy food on the go.
And all over Europe, I like to have a salad niçoise. That means a salad from the culture of Nice.
Nice, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
And where better to have it than in Nice itself. What is the main square? The Cours Saléa? What is
the Cours Saléa, Saleya, and it's a marketplace.
Virginie.
I would walk through the Cours Saléa, pick up some food, some soca, which is a chickpea crepe that they have over there, some olives, and then to digest all of this, I would walk up the chateau, which is the castle hill over there. There's no more castle. And then there's a waterfall. Try to find a spot when there is nobody, and you have an amazing view over La Baie des Anges, which is the name of the bay in Nice, the Bay of Angels, and a view over the old town of Nice. So you have the sea, the Italian-style roofs, and then you get your food.